Well, I guess if you're going to start doing YouTube, then you got to introduce yourself. Eunice Smith. I ain't afraid to say my last name. I don't think anybody's looking for me currently. I have been greatly inspired lately by John. I forget his last name. I think he's EHT or something like that. Flags. He's a reseller, and he was on Bearded Picker show, and he, was making comments to Scott about, well, you need to hire a teenager, list all that eBay stuff. And so I waited for Scott to pick up on that when John started saying about, oh, I can't do YouTube, I don't know how to do YouTube, all that stuff. And guess what? I did it. I said, John, you need to hire yourself a teenager, help you do YouTube. What a joke's on me, because I have had my YouTube set up for over a month, and I have people begging me, get your YouTube started, I will subscribe, do this. But I put it off. I work long, I work a lot of hours. I've not been well lately, so excuses. I either got to get a teenager to get this done, or like John says, I got to get off my ass and get to work. So today I gotta try and introduce myself a little bit, and I'm really feeling like I am John's sister from another mister, because one, I got red hair, and I just pulled most of these. So I was a bearded picker this morning, but right now I'm good. I'm in Sue's club, hopefully. But I my day job is I am a psych nurse. Been a nurse of some sort for about 25 years. I love what I'm supposed to be doing, but as anybody who is in nursing knows, you rarely get to do what you love to do in nursing, and especially in my current job. So I have great staff. I love working with the people that I work with, but I am currently in transition, and really, I'm getting to the point in my life, maybe I'm just looking back and saying, what do I really want to be doing? What am I doing here? I mean, come on, if you ain't got to that place yet, someday soon you're gonna get to that place. But anyway, in case you haven't noticed, and Scott, the bearded picker, is always saying he got ADD. Anybody that knows me in real life knows I got ADD. So it's the reason that my YouTube is called All of the Above, because any conversation you have with me is going to cover all of the above. I could talk about God. Thank you, John. I appreciate John's take on God is very similar to mine in some ways, because he seems to be about relationship and not so much about religion. Been there, done that. The relationship with my Father gets me through tough stuff. Been there, done that. Would not be here doing this if it was not for that relationship. So I may talk about my Heavenly Father sometimes. I will not apologize for talking about it. I can go there as far as, I was going to say, it might offend some people that may tune into my YouTube, but if nothing else, listening to John, I realized life is too short to just not be totally who you are. A lot of times that's a pretty thing, that's a wonderful thing, that's a touching thing, and other times it's just real and raw and not too pretty. That's okay, because everything that glitters is not gold. And like my grandfather used to say, and I'm not sure, I don't think it's his original quote, but he would say, see, you're not coming to me. Welcome to ADD land. Some days this works for me. Some days, see, what I'm doing right now is there's a little wheel up here, and it's got those 17 channels open like on the internet. Right now I'm wondering where the music's coming from. I heard that online. That's like perfect explanation of what my brain does. I'm on 4 hours of sleep because I got up. I'm sitting here in the parking lot waiting for my daughter to get out of the dentist. Poor girl. So I'm sitting here and I thought, this is a good time. I'm going to try to do this intro. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to say, hey world, this is Eunice here. Where was I? It'll come back to me, okay? It keeps trying. Oh, come on now. I'm trying to do this. Yes. Well, it's not working. Yes, that is the other phone. You do not need to give a person with ADD 2 phones to take care of, because that's the crap that happens. But guess what? Eunice is learning that when you're doing live stuff, really, you gonna be like that? Okay, this is my intro video, and you're gonna see Eunice throwing a phone across the car. Not good. Come on now. I will do this, folks. I do know how to operate this equipment. I'm not that old. It just takes me longer to get to the place where, guess what? Now, you ain't gonna hear, but you might hear, because, you know, whatever. I'm sure people call back, because I get lots of calls. And, no, don't want to answer those, because I don't think that I've won a real cruise, and, you know, all that good stuff. Where was I? Welcome to my world. It's like this every day. And when I have had lack of sleep, and I am not a morning person, and right now on Eastern Standard Time, it is 9:58. People, that is still morning. My work will call and say, can you come in early? And I said, I don't do mornings. And they're like, no, we mean like 11 o'clock. And I said, it's before noon, it's morning. I do not do mornings. In my job, you got to be on your toes. I am not on my toes in the morning. So why the world, Eunice, are you putting your intro video, doing your intro video in the morning? Because, well, I'm a psych nurse. Takes one to know one. That's all I'm going to say about that. And yes, I have a very sick sense of humor sometimes, and maybe that's because I have been a nurse so long. I've seen people at their worst. I've seen people at their best. I've seen people coming. I've seen people going. And so after you do that for a long time, you are less offended by anything. There's very little at this point that offends me, surprises me, shocks me. I'm sure it's out there. Hope I don't find it if it's bad. But every day is a learning experience. I'm just trying to give you, this probably is a good intro to Eunice's world and all of the above. Are you getting it yet? I am all of the above. And at some point, I have I got to take the time to tell you my story a little bit, because you need to understand there's going to be some days where I'm not going to watch my mouth. And I mean literally watch my mouth. John said just be real, so we're gonna be real. I'm scared, and if you have a thing that makes you like sick about this, you might want to like mute the button or like look away. I'm not gonna show you on purpose, but you may notice that I have some missing denture here. I have had an incredible journey in my life. I love the quote that I heard on John's show this morning. I wouldn't trade my life experience for $1 million. Well, I'm not trying to get this right, but I wouldn't buy it back for a dime. Yeah, I don't want to go there again, but like John said, you got to witness where you've been, what has worked for you, because that's how we inspire each other. We have to take the things in our lives that say, this helped me get through. And if you're not willing to share the good and the bad, you're not gonna help nobody. A lot of let's back up. I was born a poor white child. No, we ain't going that far back. That's one of my favorite lines. I won't tell you what movie that was paraphrased from. But I have very varied background. Like I said, I have been a nurse, I'm going to say 25 years. First 22 of that was as an LPN. And actually, I'm going to say my nursing career started way before that. My nursing career started, well, first I was a CNA. You know what a CNA? That's a nursing assistant, a certifiable nursing assistant. Yeah, they like to put certifiable in front of my title now. But I started as a CNA, and then I went to LPN school because Bill Clinton said, "Get off your ass and go to work." No, I had twins, and I was home, and yes, I must say I was getting a little welfare. But I soon realized that welfare, you don't want to talk to me about that, because I've been there, done that. And if you need it, you better get it. You feed your kids. You get it. You do what you need to do. But don't plan on staying there, because that should not be a lifestyle. And anybody that tries to act like that's their lifestyle, that's sad. Because of my welfare experience. Now, you're going to start hearing, I'm going to start probably doing shirts. My children say, just do some shirts. I have little sayings that I have raised my children by. Most of them I can repeat. No, I'm kidding. I have little sayings that guides how I raise my children, because children sometimes, yes, I have given long lectures. I know they're going to come on here and make comments, but sometimes in the moment, you just got to have your little blurb, because you got to repeat things at least 1,000 times. That's scientific fact for a child to remember it. I had some great children, but a couple of them, I think I had to repeat it 10,000 times. I think maybe they're now starting to get it. No, I'm going to bust them, because I know they're going to get on here and bust me, because that's my children. I raised them that way. But I have little things where I live by. And one of them is, if you don't work, you don't eat. And people say, oh, that's like mean. Like, you mean to feed your children? No, it's not how I mean it. But I would start out saying, if you don't work, you don't eat. You know what? In our house, you had to, I raised them in a simple level. You don't work, you don't eat. Like, come on now, you are part of this family. You got to do some chores. You got to do some chores. And before I believe like I do, I don't want to say, get into that right now. But my children, once a week, we had a day and we did chores. And you know what? You didn't go to the park with your friends. You didn't think about going, hey, spending the day with your friend, till those morning chores were done. You didn't ask mom to go do nothing. You didn't ask mom to watch TV. You didn't ask mom, can we go, unless we already had something planned, special that day. You got your work done. And then, you did the enjoying things. Because I wanted my children to understand that unless mom got off her butt and went to work, we didn't eat. That's just the way it is. So to me, to quickly say to my children, if you don't work, you don't eat, was not that I was withholding food or what. No, but it was like, you need to contribute so that you can get what you need in life. So you need to give to get. That's really breaking it down. That's making it way too simple. But if you don't work, you don't eat is a principle, that I told them. And you're like, wait a minute, you said you were on welfare, you were getting food stamps, you were eating and you weren't working. Yup. But then I had saying number 2. See what life experience does to you? I had saying number 2. And saying number 2 was, whoever feeds you owns you. Think about that for a minute. Yep, I got food stamps. And I looked around one day and I'm like, man, they own me. They telling me, they giving me like housing assistance. They telling me where I can live. They're telling me when I can move to a different apartment. They're telling me what landlords I can rent from. They telling me what food I can buy at the store with these WIC checks. And WIC is a great program. Don't get me wrong. I think that's one of the few programs I actually approve of. But they're telling me what I can buy with these food stamps. I can, whatever. They looking in my bank account, because they giving me money, right? They giving me the assistance money. They got to know how much money I got in my bank account. They got to know whether I got cash stashed, I could finish that. But they got to know where, every dime. Do you have cash? And I used to laugh because I go to the welfare and say, do you have cash on hand? See any cash? Like right here? Cash on hand. Do I have cash? Do you have any stocks or dividends? Big joke. Used to crack me up. Be like, yeah, that's why I'm sitting here in front of you asking for some money and some food. Yeah, right. No. Anyway, see, ADD, boop, squirrel. Yeah, okay. My children like this. At this point, they're going squirrel. Deal. This is my channel. You got a little taste of who I am. I have barely scratched the surface. But today's lesson, children, has been, if you don't work, you don't eat. And whoever feeds you owns you. And that is true. I just want to add, as I've gotten older and slightly more mature and studied a little more, I've added to that as my children have become adults. Whoever owns you, whoever feeds you, owns you. And I have come to discover that that's not only food, that's not only physically, but that's physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Whoever feeds you owns you. Okay, I'll be back again soon, I'm sure, because I've really enjoyed making this video. It may not be the perfect intro to my channel. I've referenced some people that none of you know who I'm talking about, but you will, because hopefully, I will be learning how to do this, and I will be putting those people that are inspiring me currently, what I'm trying to do. I will be linking and putting links and whatever, because they're awesome people. And that's a wide variety of things that I listen to. I will have no problem recommending, and you'll learn who those people are if you don't know already. A lot of you will know already, but I'm just gonna probably end my video by reminding you what my channel is. This has been a chat with Eunice, and we have covered all of the above.